which is our
Overrated.
overrated 11. So what we're gonna do is we will all give our player for that position, and then we'll come to a group consensus on the 3 that we picked, or if it's 2 or whatever, of who that player is in that position, and then we'll put it into our combined overrated 11.
Oh,
All right, so we're doing overrated first.
Let's do overrated first. We'll debate the spots. Let's start in net.
I know for a fact you guys won't have him, so I have Bart Verbruggen.
I do too.
Really?
What?
I do too. I do too.
Why?
Because I just don't see it. I
Starts for
don't see
Netherlands.
it.
He gets starts for Netherlands. Like, he's very highly rated. I always see a relatively decent price tag next to him.
The starts
And
for
now-
Netherlands is not like something to put on your CV.
Sure,
Look at some
I
of the
understand,
last
but he's a
guys that
senior
started for the
international.
Netherlands.
He starts every week at Brighton, and I just see balls go through him all the time. Like, I
Okay.
swear, in terms of just the goalkeeping, I it's just not very good.
I went a different direction.
And what
So,
direction did you go?
I put Mamar Dashvili as my overrated.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I don't
Honestly,
hate,
like,
I don't
what the
hate
hell
him.
did they buy this guy a year ahead of time for? He's not that good. Like, they did not need to do all this to
They
twerk for
spent
him.
like a pretty penny on him too. No,
No,
like
I think it was only like 35.
that's
like,
a lot for a
That's
keeper.
for a keep,
Didn't you spend
for a
like
backup keeper.
like in comparison
when
to
you
all
have
of our clubs?
Allison.
I think we all paid like way less.
I
don't know
we
about
probably
Sanchez,
paid the
but-
same for Robert.
To be fair, Robert's been decent.
I think we
so-
paid 25 for Bradford.
Yeah.
I no,
It's a decent shout. He just doesn't play that much.
yeah, that's kind of why I didn't pick him. Is but
Yeah.
to your
I
point,
picked
like,
him
that's
because
why
he's
you
supposed to
picked
be
him.
good, and when he's played, he hasn't been very good.
I don't think he's been bad though, has he? I know he hasn't lived up to like. Oh,
It's
he's
not.
the
It's
Alisson
not this guy's
successor.
shit. None of these guys are really shit.
No,
It's just that they're overrated. They're rated
Sure,
too
I agree.
highly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't rate
Because-
Brogan at all, or like so maybe that's part of it. Like
That's-
I don't. I'm not in the sphere of people rating Brogan. But if you guys agree on it, then I feel like we
I
gotta
can't
go.
believe.
that
I
way.
think we have to put him
I-
just because I said I started with saying no one's gonna have this guy.
Because every time I think he was linked with Bayern at a point to be the Neuer successor. Like, yeah, dude, I think I've seen some pretty ludicrous links, and every time
Well,
I
I've
watch
seen
it, I'm
us
like,
linked, but
this
that's
guy
the
is
sky's
shit.
blue. So
I'm like,
yeah.
if we're talking about Robert Sanchez when he came to Chelsea, and everyone's like, well, this guy was so overrated at Brighton. Like, this guy's the same fucking player. Like, it's just a Brighton guy that they're like, oh, well, he's good because he plays for Brighton, and every Brighton
Dude,
prospect.
2 years ago, he was splitting games with Steele.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Respectfully.
I
So
don't know if
that's
we're gonna agree
I
on
can't
much on
believe-
this.
I can't believe that we both. That's pretty funny. I thought we were gonna go in different directions, so I'm happy that we both went there.
Yeah, we both just pulled it for Bruggen. It's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. All right, let's go to right back next. I am currently looking for my photo that I took because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Dumbass.
you
I
guys go
put
first.
Pedro Porro. Did you put Pedro Porro, Dylan?
We are so in sync. I also went Pedro Porro.
This
Uh,
year, he hasn't been rated it though.
No, I know. I know.
no,
It was
yeah,
kind
it
of
just-
cheap.
He has been rated. We all-
There's
like-
only like 3 people that have been rated at right back in this league. So you had that. Like to me, you had to pick between 3 people, and I wasn't gonna pick 2 of them.
Well, who did you go with?
I went with Timber.
But Tim. Okay,
Respect.
no, like okay.
But you guys are saying like, oh, this guy's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. Like these guys are.
Yeah, we're
bad.
talking about
None of
how
my-
they're
none of the
rated
players
versus what
I think
they are.
bad. They are overrated in my opinion. And like
I think it's a valid argument because he's very good defensively, as we all
he's
know.
a
but
center back,
he's-
bro. Put a lot of center
he's
backs at right
detrimental
back,
going
and they'll do
forward.
the same fucking job.
and he's detrimental going forward in terms of his final ball and things like that. So no, it's not heinous. It's not heinous. I just think with what the expectation was, and now mind you, we're going back a few years for when he first came in, but even still, he's worn the armband this year. I think the expectations in this situation, obviously the tag with him, he's really good going forward, can't defend, but it's just been shambolic. And again, it's been shambolic from that entire institution.
The whole.
But
Um,
he's been awful for me because I don't even think he's been that good going forward either.
No, this is the
So-
like for me, he's the definition of a guy on SofaScore that gets like great ratings because he's got like all these attacking numbers as a fullback. But in reality, he's like just a detriment to the way that they play. Like he just hasn't been good. And that was supposed to be like one of the best backlines in the league. And like he's like part of that structure to me. And every time that he's been brought up in the right back list, it's always like he's in the top 5. And I just
No.
don't. I think I can name maybe 8 or 9 better right backs in the league than him. And that's why
I don't rate these guys that you guys are bringing into the conversation. Like, I don't understand where this overrated is coming from, honestly.
It's like these guys
Maybe
are
2 or
international.
3 years ago, but Pedro
Genuinely,
Porro, everyone knows he's shit now for like
I think when
multiple
we were
years.
doing our ratings, you guys may have had Porro in your top 5 of right backs.
I hope
That's what I'm
that's-
saying. Like, I think we
that's
did
a-
rate him. Like, I think he was rated there to start the season. He's just been that shit that people are like, oh, well, like, you
I
probably
don't think
shouldn't
it was
rate him.
because he's.
I
a
also
top
think you're
player.
overestimating the knowledge of the average fan a little bit, Mila. Like, obviously, we're tuned in and we understand that these guys are, like, Porro, for example, has been pretty shit for a little while now, but a lot of people still actually think he's competent. So that's, I guess, where we're
People
coming
that
from.
don't watch.
I just don't think that he's
Just a
good.
casual
Like,
fan. You're
exactly.
What are
overestimating
we
the
doing?
knowledge.
Why are we going off other people's? All right, let's.
Because that's the group consensus.
the whole-
Like, your
It's
timber
their
shout fair.
overrated.
I actually just don't think that he's been like.
I just don't think we're gonna
That
match up on
overrated.
anything. Is my point. If this is the direction it's going,
Well, I feel like me and Grant.
There's
have
only
been
one way to
the same
find
thing.
out.
I know.
But that's the point. We're
I'm on a
supposed to
whole
have a debate
different. I'm
here.
on a whole different.
Yeah,
On a
it's a
whole different-
completely
okay.
different interpretation.
So, okay, I actually think that there is one place that we might have a maybe group consensus. Or
I know
close-
for a fact there's one consensus here.
So
Yeah, but that one
so-
was a given.
no, but
It might
let's
be
go to
two.
the center back pairing. Let's start. Let's just do both players, and we can kind of debate from there if there's like a group consensus somewhere in there. I went with Kanate and Van de Ven.
Oh, okay, nice.
Those
that
were
your
my
pairing?
two. That's my pairing.
That's also my pairing.
Yeah, no,
See,
nice.
okay,
I
we
have Van de Ven in
immediately
there.
agreed on that.
So I have Van de Ven in there too. I feel like I need to speak on it a little bit. I had him third best center back in the league last year going into the season. But I think a lot of these guys in positions of adversity, it's like, sink or swim, and man, he sank straight to the bottom. Like he clearly looks like he doesn't want to be there, almost getting himself sent off on games. Like just terrible mentality. And center back is one of those positions where the mentality I feel is very important. So I think he's shown his true colors in a negative light. Obviously very talented, but he's had a very tough go, especially this calendar year. I put Wesley Fofana because I don't know if the masses are familiar yet, where we spent 80 million on this guy. Like that, very expensive. He might have been more expensive than Maguire, maybe a little less, but you don't hear much about it just because of how many guys we've wasted money on. But he deserves a shout in this conversation. But I'd give it to Kanate.
Yeah, I almost went with the entire Spurs backline for this. By the way,
I
it was a
did.
thought in my mind because that
I,
was.
I did almost go Romero though, along with Van de Ven.
The only reason I
we all
didn't go
thought
with the doggy because he was injured. But yeah, Romero was like I put him in first over Van de Ven, and then I thought about it. I was like, we've talked about this dude for way too much, and the price tag that he's still being hinted at this summer just
The
doesn't line up.
clubs.
Clearly overrated to a certain extent. Like there's probably way better people in the market in terms of value.
What's the argument that Tottenham are so bad that they're making everyone that touches it bad? Like
That's
I
also
think with the back line in particular, that was always the conversation, especially under Andro. If that back four is fit, like that's a very quality back four, just in terms of the level of each player, which it is. But
they had Frank, who's like supposed to be a good defensive manager, and that's
right. And it was I 100%
right.
agree.
So that's the overrated portion of it. That's why we all had a consensus pick at center back. All right, let's move to left back. Who do you guys have there?
Curious.
Kirkes.
I have Kirkes as well.
See, I'm just so unbiased that I put Kukurea here.
Really?
And similar to Mila's logic, I mean, at least maybe this is more personal for me than it is just an overarching. And
like
I
you overrated him?
Right, and I misinterpreted this video just to do propaganda. But yeah, I think Kukurea's levels have dropped the past few months. I think he was absolutely in that conversation for best left back in the world. He was playing to that level, and he just has not for months now. It really could just be down to he's playing way too many minutes, especially the way he plays, right? He's just super energetic, tight as fuck to every winger. But yeah, he hasn't been great lately. And I don't think this will happen in a short period of time, but Hato's looking good and he's very young. And that's definitely what the Chelsea fucking model is, right? So yeah, I hope Kukurea steps the levels up, and I'm sure he'll have a good World Cup.
I can't overrate him too much because he also has to deal with some form of Neto and Garnacho in front of him every game. And he's being asked to be the 10 in a lot of like Enzo for Enzo's formations, he was a 10. And same for
Yeah.
Senior. Like, he's being asked to do so much as a left back that I think that, if anything, for me, he's somewhat underrated. I wouldn't go
Okay,
that
perfect.
far,
This worked. Yeah.
but I like the argument from a Chelsea perspective, because I think the outside perspective, to people that maybe don't watch him on a week-to-week basis, they probably wouldn't
He's a
see
prick,
that.
but he's good.
Yeah.
That's
Very,
what it is.
very
But yeah,
much in the Draymond Green role.
Kirkus has been better. He definitely has been better lately, but really the whole first half of the year, whether he was hurt or not, he was really bad. He looked genuinely lost at times, and he still has at certain points in the second half of the season. So he's definitely getting there. I think he'll be good in due time, but yeah, not his best.
Yeah, he was just
start.
overrated before. It was that he would solve their left back problem the second he
And-
walked in. And I think even
Yeah.
we're victim to thinking that. I think we all
Oh,
had
yeah, for
those
sure.
those thoughts of
Yeah.
him going in and having instant impact, and just hasn't worked out that way.
No.
I think a lot of these guys, it's just like we expected more out of them, and we just haven't received that whatsoever.
A lot of this has to do with their price tags that they came into the summer with. Like, he was like one of the most, he was just an expensive left back from Bournemouth in the league that everyone was like, oh, this guy's good. Like, he is very, very good. And then he's taken this leap up to the next level. And unlike some of the other guys, he just hasn't been able to translate. And in a team that won the league, like, that's kind of telling in a certain sense.
Yeah. So
that's why I
Kirkus
went
it
with him.
is. Sweet.
All right, let's go with our 6. I went 6, 8, 10. Did you guys do that too?
I did
Kind
a
of, yeah.
midfield 3.
Okay, we can fit them in molds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Rice.
I have a 6 though. Oh, I have him in 2.
Oh, I didn't go with Rice, but he's gonna end up being in ours somewhere. I guess then the 8. He's gonna fit our 8 mold. I went with
Sure.
Reinders.
Oh, I put
Good
Reinders
shout.
as my 8.
Who did you do as your 8?
I put Reinders.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I
So
think
then
I overrated him. Similar
I
to what
also-
Grant was
I
think
doing
we
with
all did.
Cucurella,
I
is
think we
is that I think I overrated him a bit. And it's not, again, none of these guys are bad players, but it has not clicked when I thought it would click. Similar to the Kerkez thing, it's that I thought it would click way quicker. His is a little different because he's coming from outside the league, but that level and that experience I thought would have more of an impact on the squad sooner. And I think a lot of it is just seeing the ball go in the back of the net, though. So
yeah,
consistency in
Yeah.
GNA, and I think he'll be good to go.
it
I
is a
like that you-
moments thing with him.
These guys aren't bad players, but again, when you talk about expectations and how they're talked about versus what they actually get done for you on the pitch, I mean, you guys know this. I don't really feel like we talk about Arsenal enough for me to really get this off, but Rice doesn't do enough for me to warrant like this game-changing 100 million pound midfielder, right? Like, he is very good in certain aspects. I think his ball striking's top notch. Obviously, the set piece delivery is fantastic. Dead ball. I mean, the ball striking on the goals that he scored, I didn't think he would have that when he came from West Ham, but can't dictate or control a game in the middle. And going off of that, the 6 that I had was Zubamendi. I thought he would be, and I think he's been good, but I thought he would just be solid. Like, you wouldn't even have questions about him, but there have been moments with him where he's looked fragile in the middle. So I also have him in there. And then honestly,
I thought about him a lot too. I don't think he's been underwhelming, but I do think his contribution to the Arsenal squad was overrated heavily when he first came. But I think it's cooled down a little bit, so that's kind
I
of
was
why.
happy to have a guy with a clear rap sheet in that position.
Yeah.
My pushback on that was a lot of the faults that he has and like the weaknesses that he had. We knew were going to be problems. Like, he's not their most physical player. We knew that he could kind of scramble under pressure a little bit, but I think the things that he's done overall in terms of a tandem with him and Rice, and that's why I didn't put either of them in mine, is I kind of expected this to be exactly like that.
Respect.
And it's been exactly like that. But maybe that's because I wasn't thinking publicly. Like, to be fair, like, people are talking about Rice as the player of the year. I just don't even know how you could possibly.
Bro, I saw it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I remind you, it was a few months ago, his name in the Ballon d'Or conversation, and it truly disgusts me as a fan of the sport. Like, that's insane to me. I cannot believe that was a thing. And then I'll just say my third midfielder, because I've just put 3 midfielders. I put McAllister. I feel like one of the Liverpool guys had to get some love here. And yeah, he's dropped off a cliff this year, just in terms of the levels, just such a steady Premier League player. And as soon as he came over from Brighton, he was very impactful for them. And all of a sudden, his third year there, it's just significantly dropped off. Maybe you could chalk it up to slot. Maybe you could chalk it up to just the whole situation there, but he has not helped.
The other two midfielders that I had was Baleba, similar to your Van de Ven point. Like I had him in my top 5 going into the season. United were linked to him. 100 million pound midfielder. He can barely get on the pitch for Brighton, and I think that should drop his price tag and a bunch of stuff. I don't know if he's actually just not that good or if it's been this whole United thing hanging over his head because he goes for Cameroon, similar to like the Wirtz thing. Just he didn't actually get the move. And then my other midfielder, my 10 was Cole Palmer. Because this was a guy that we talked about going into the season as one of the best players in the league. And he has been so far from that in terms of the rating of players, like we talked about it, the difference between Chelsea and United was a guy like Cole Palmer for a long time. And I just don't see, like, for me, Cole Palmer just hasn't been anywhere near productive enough. And it's not even just like, because his numbers are still all right. Like he's got 9 goals, whether you want to, the penalty numbers, but it's just his impact on the game isn't there. Yeah. And I think that there's people are still talking about it as if he has impact on matches and on a week-to-week basis.
Not this year.
And that's why I put him in my overrated, because in a very
he's been hurt.
Like, yeah, but this is the same conversation that we had with Foden last year.
No, I know.
And that's why I agree. Put Palmer in, because I think he deserves that same level of thing.
Accountability, because it's justified. I agree. I was on the record saying this guy's not a GA guy. As good as the numbers he was putting up were, his impact goes beyond that. And to your point, Dylan, regardless, maybe he's gotten a hat trick here, a few pens there, but the impact is nowhere near what I expect from him. So it's totally justified. But my cope was that he's been hurt and he does not make my lineup.
This is the same thing that Mila was saying about Foden last year. Like it's a very similar argument. That's why I put him in mine.
No, but this is different.
And they're not my star boys. So I don't have to.
Who do you have, Mila? Who was your midfield 3?
Yeah, who's your 3rd?
Xavi Simons.
Oh, good shout.
I'm gonna stick with that.
Good shout.
Guy is just a name, and of course he played good against City, just to make me eat my words. But outside of those games, when he's not playing my team, I haven't seen much that I'm convinced.
You know what I will say? He's been better lately, but at the same time, I think that's
what
more.
The hell is that mean? They haven't won a game, bro.
I think it's more because of how bad they are that when he gets a 20-minute cameo, you're like, oh, he's all right. So yeah, no, he definitely has been disappointing.
It's one of those things where it's similar to like not the Bruno argument, but like any player in a United squad, how can you properly rate them when they're that bad?
Sure.
Outside of the guys that have been there a long time. Like I know that Porro and Van de Ven I've seen them at a higher level and they continue to get this rating. But to your point, he came for big money. He was supposed to be their guy. Swooped him from Chelsea.
To be the guy.
So he has been.
No, be the guy is my point though. Like if that's what you're here to be, then be the guy.
But, who do we have in our lineup right now? We have
Reinders and Rice.
I didn't pick Reinders and Rice.
Okay. Reinders and Rice were the 2 consensus
sure.
picks.
Okay, so we'll do a 10 then.
Palmer, Simmons, and
I picked McAllister.
And McAllister. I'm okay with having him in that argument and just saying it's midfield 3. I don't want to add him just because I think their structure's been
not
shit.
A 10. Yeah. So I have the deciding vote, is what you're saying, between Xavi and Palmer.
I think I know where you're going with this.
You know. Yeah, throw Xavi in the lineup.
Yeah, okay. He'll be our 10. I think been hurt. I think the arguments for both have been are equally the same. And to Mila's point, he was the more expensive signing of the 2. And they have been shit and they've needed a savior. He's been nowhere even close to that.
That's my problem with him.
Like if you're a player coming
for
money and you're part of a relegation script, yeah, I'm okay with that. All right.
We should speed this up.
I was gonna say let's fire through.
Saka.
Right wing is Saka.
Yes.
He has.
I think if you guys watched any of this, if you don't know why we picked Saka, watch the rest of the pod.
And like all of those videos that we watch.
Yeah. Who do you guys have at left wing? I have Wirtz.
Pedro Neto.
You have Wirtz?
Yeah. The 150 million pound signing that has been awful pretty much all season.
He's a 10.
At left wing though?
He's playing left 10. He's playing that position for
4-2-2.
I put Gordon, and I know he's been playing striker for a bit.
That's a good shout.
That's why I didn't put Gordon, because I would have put him in my 10. But I'm the guy that we go. So this is the one that we don't have a consensus on. I'm going to put forth the argument that this guy is the most expensive Premier League player outside of the league in the history of the league, and he has been awful. He is literally Manchester City and Liverpool calling bidding war where Liverpool just spends all the money in the world, and he's been shit.
Yeah,
shit. And he took the championship team to outside of the championship.
But like this is another one where like I think the general consensus around this guy is that he's not rated as highly.
Same
anymore.
with Gordon.
That's
to
why I
an
left him
extent.
out.
People have figured it out with him too, because
that
I was
wasn't-
thinking that.
But that wasn't the consensus at the time. Is what I'm trying to like.
At the time, yeah, when the purchase happened, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then he's proven it. But like Liverpool fans have tried to tell us he's good all season through comps of him being all right.
The soldier who kept fighting 29 years after. Yeah,
I think
that's what they're on. Yeah,
like Liverpool fans still have not given up on him. The way that they've given up on their club legend,
You
and
can't give up on
it's
him.
crazy.
You spent
But they
too
gave
much
up on
money to give up.
hey, he'll come good.
Club
He'll come good. Don't worry about it, guys. Trust me.
I have no argument for Pedro Neto because I just haven't rated him in a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wanted to get a quick he sucks sesh, but I think we all know that. So
Okay,
I'll
so
bow out of this one.
So then you have the deciding vote here between Squirts and who did you say, Mila, again?
Gordon.
See, I think I'm gonna go with Mila's logic in regards to how people rate him right now. I think the way I'm deciding it and going with Anthony Gordon is because less people have figured out and clocked it yet.
I think
that's the
he's
only
been
reason.
detrimental to their season at times too. Whereas Wirtz has just been shit and not
he's just
helping
there.
with the rest
He's
of it
just
is
there.
shit. But Newcastle have looked good at times, and Gordon shoots them in the foot single-handedly sometimes. Either a rash tackle or just the wrong decision.
Yeah, I think essentially just less people have figured it out. So that's why I'll go Gordon. Have that, Dylan.
I'm just saying the most expensive player in history of the league from outside the league has been crap.
Go watch the last episode.
I watched Pogba forever get slandered for that
you're
price
right.
tag shit.
No, you're right. You're
so this was just my chance to fire off. All right, who do we have in the 9?
João Pedro.
Oh,
I knew you were going to go with João Pedro, and I just can't get behind that one.
Soldier keeps fighting.
I'm not.
He's like top 5 in goals and assists, man.
Who are you going to put?
I put Ollie Watkins.
What?
Ooh.
I put Ollie Watkins.
Who did Dylan put?
I put Strand Larson.
Okay.
Strand Larson went for the same price tag as João Pedro.
That's fine. Strand Larson doesn't play in the big games. I'm not judging Strand Larson when he plays fucking round like these big teams.
So who rates João Pedro this high other than me?
João Pedro.
I don't feel like people really talk about him.
I feel like I don't really see the least of Chelsea's issues, and I think that if you talk about signings of the summer, he's probably in that conversation.
Absolutely, is in that conversation.
He scored a bunch of goals, dude. Like
yeah, but not when they need him to. It's like
I don't think you rate Ekitike. He got us into the Champions League knockouts. We were losing to Napoli because we were dog shit, and he scored 2 fantastic goals. Like I think he has more than carried his weight, and I think. I'm a fan of Ekitike, but Ekitike, and again, it's just goals and assists. He's on 15. João Pedro's on 19.
So João Pedro just goes to me. Anytime I watch a game where he needs to do something against a big team, he doesn't show up at all. So to me, that I'm not budging on that one.
Villa's a big team, but they're shit. But like he dropped a hat trick on them in a very important game. So like, is it a big game or against good teams? Because what good teams even are there?
He's been Chelsea's best attacker by a country mile this season.
Absolutely.
I don't think that in going into the idea
that doesn't mean he's not
but let's track back to what we were talking about in the Club World Cup, which was when they signed him. It was like he couldn't be consistent for long enough stretches. This whole season, he's been good, and I think that's where
moments for sure.
Like that's where I can't say he's overrated because like going back to if we're looking at this season,
I've looked at who he scored his goals against. Like I've done the research for.
Then why wasn't Wirtz your left winger? That's the same argument.
Because no one's rating him anymore.
But like
people are saying, "Oh, João Pedro scored goal, he good." I'm arguing. Look at it's the same thing that you're basically saying about Igor Thiago. Like the guy just has goals.
No, look. I'm gonna back off my Igor Thiago stance. Like you score that many goals in the league, like you're just not. I rated him disrespectful at a certain point, and that's on me. But I don't know. João Pedro's a weird.
He's 4th in goals in the league.
That's not saying much this season. Please. Like Welbeck is one of the top goal scorers in the league, and he's
in my
way past it. The comp of
I just don't even see people rating
strikers for goals
outside of Chelsea.
Not great.
I don't see people rating him. Like I just see people talking about like, oh, Gyökeres is having a decent year with numbers, and Ekitike and Šeško.
That's the
even
thing too. There's not a lot of people to rate in this position. Not a lot of people are rated at all in this position. Another thing, like with Strand Larson, that's a good shout, but I haven't rated that guy in a very long time, and I haven't heard the name in a very long time because they've
We're
been in
talking
a
about everybody.
relegation battle for months.
I agree, though.
No, but
I just picked Ollie Watkins because he starts every game for Villa, and he has not been good for almost 2
we
years.
slagged him at the beginning of the season,
You guys
saying he was shit. So that's why. How are we gonna say he's overrated
Because
when
he's still playing.
don't even rate
He
him?
plays for England. He's not good anymore.
Like that's the thing. Just because a team cannot buy a good striker at the moment does not mean that player is good or rated underrated. Like that's
good.
just
There's
because
like
there's no
3
better
good
option
players
than
in the
João
world.
Pedro does not mean João Pedro is the be all end all of strikers at the club.
I just don't know.
I'm gonna say that
know.
he's not gonna be our 9 because I disagree with that too.
No,
So
that's
we have
fine. But like also Ollie Watkins has scored a lot of goals for Aston Villa at an important time in their club, and now he's not rated whatsoever. So to just poo-poo it because like for
How about
what?
this? Like, mind you, it's Foot Mob. His transfer value is like over 50 million pounds.
It was the decision
it's not.
between him and C.O.C for United to start the season in terms of where people rated him. But also to that point, Amram wanted Watkins and the board went with C.O.C. So I think that might be a decide on history there. Look, for me, Strand Larson just.
How about we leave it to the viewers? We leave it to the viewers because we're split.
I do want to hear their thoughts, but for our combined 11, we got to have somebody in there.
No, the viewers get to pick.
But we're not getting but we have to put someone on the screen. That's what I'm saying. You got to pick someone.
Why don't we just do a Verts false 9 and make everybody happy?
I feel like that's a cop out. I don't want a cop out in this. I want the. I need an answer. He went for 48 million.
You know what? I think you make a good point. People are kind of familiar with the Ollie Watkins shit now. I just am confused as to why they bought a striker and then I won't play him. But when he went for this price, I was shocked. So
like somebody rated him at 50 million pounds, essentially.
A lot of people
from
signed
a
off
relegation.
On
yeah, like
a lot of people signed off.
The
on
idea
that.
was, he's just playing for Wolves, and once he takes a leap to a better team, he'll be better. And he's gone to Palace and just been shit too. Like he's been
Palace,
shit.
Yeah, I guess.
And Mateta still scored goals. Is kind of my point.
Mateta hasn't been great for months either, though.
He had a bad knee.
But he was still he still scored goals. Like Strand Larson's not scoring goals. 50 million
he had
pounds.
Like a brace and then they lost to Burnley, and then ever since I don't remember him scoring.
I don't know. That's been a dumpster fire. Their coach has been talking about leaving for 5 months.
4-4-2 with 2.
I like this.
I think I'm gonna. We'll go with that, and we'll let the viewers decide it because we're splitting hairs at this 9 position. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.